cut me too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
Welcome to the 3B Video Deep Cut Podcast.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. It was fun.
Aw, yeah, it's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inks, and I think we just picked up Dracula.
Hey man, you believe that stuff your old lady's hawking me? Yeah, buddy. You alluded to it 2 weeks ago. We were hopping in a van, a hot, sweaty van, and
With no AC in August Texas heat.
taking the trek to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and I'm excited. I'd say 50-50, you know what I mean? Like, I'm excited for some of these entries, and then other entries where I'm like,
Oh boy.
Yeah, here we go.
We got 18 weeks, maybe a bit more by that point, to cover Texas, because just in time, the game is getting ready to come out on gaming consoles, so...
In 3 months, yeah, so...
From right now, yes. So August 18th of this summer, we should be scoping into that, and maybe we'll wrap up this entire series like we do some of the other ones with the video game entry.
Yeah, could be fun. I'm kind of excited for that game. I haven't, I'm not a gamer, so...
Say what? You're not a gamer? I've never heard this before.
Just don't get excited for games, but for this one, I'm pretty stoked. But, yeah, Evil, you want to give the good folks out there in internet land a brief plot synopsis of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then we'll gas and oil this bad boy up and cut through a paraplegic.
Good lord. We're talking the original slasher movie here, folks. Bunch of kids going somewhere they shouldn't be, acting stupid, get picked off one by one by a killer with a gimmick. And this gimmick is a skin mask, chainsaw, and a couple of side characters, which include a cook, hitchhiker, and a not sure if he's alive grandpa. That's right, folks. We're talking cannibals at Thanksgiving dinner. And
yeah, baby.
I tell you what, I don't know which is a worse fate. Getting sawn in half with a chainsaw on a hook, or spending an entire road trip in Texas in the 70s, in August, in a van, with probably only AC being the windows rolled down, in a van with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, and one of those guys is a hefty fella in a wheelchair? Kill me now.
Sounds exciting. I'm going to go ahead and just get this out of the way right off the bat. I'm just going to stand on my soapbox for a hot minute.
I know exactly where you're going.
Fucking everybody on the planet hates Franklin, and I don't. And I'm going to die on that hill. He's the man. He never annoys me in any way, shape, or form. I'm sympathetic towards that character. I like that character, so just getting it out of the way so when you comment on this, when you find us, when you meet us in person, you can slap me in the face and be like, I can't believe you like Franklin.
Don't give people that kind of permission.
Let's scrap.
Metaphorically slap him in the face, not literally.
Yeah, I love Franklin in this movie. I actually really kind of dig this entire cast. This is a very close to a perfect movie. I know I said that when we covered the original Halloween. This is up there. This is its own almost perfect movie. Completely different tone, but awesome.
And Joe Bob stands behind it being the original slasher movie. A lot of folks say Black Christmas. He says, no, this is it right here. Everything is groundwork is laid down right here in this feature film. And man, if we've talked about in the previous franchises about like Pet Sematary, for example, having a stain to it, Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't have a stain, but by God, it's got a smell.
It's got pit stains to it for sure.
It smells like, yeah, you've been working in summer heat for 16 hours straight. It stinks.
Yeah, and I think that's all too with like the heavy film grain, the sun flares, like the lens flares, and everything just really feels
Which they lean
hot.
into that shit. I feel like there's even lens flares on some of the cover arts for this movie.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, it just seems very hot, sticky, just
Miserable.
it's summer. This movie is, and not just summer, not like fun summer, we're going to the pool summer. This is like, I have to fucking build a fence in the middle of,
This is
some
yard work
field.
summer. That's what it is. You got yard work in the summer to deal with. If you're frigid cold somewhere right now, just watch some Texas Chainsaw Massacre footage, gameplay footage, whatever you can find. You'll start feeling a bit warmer. You'll start taking layers off and feeling like you stink. Guaranteed, because that's what this movie does in spades.
Yeah, and also with the tension of this movie, I feel like, raises your temperature a little bit. Because it is
It's that goddamn generator. It's not the chainsaws, it's not anything, it's that goddamn generator running all the time that gets me. Like,
Really?
just turn that fucking thing off. Like, it's...
But then you wouldn't have electricity.
True, but I don't give... These people don't use electricity. They barely use electricity.
What if they got an electric oven?
I don't think they got an oven. I think they just got a fire pit in the kitchen and you just bring in logs and shit and throw it in.
Could be.
You think Leatherface uses an electric stove?
I don't know, which would be pretty ironic.
Jesus.
A little electric turkey carver.
I just picture the hitchhiker on a bicycle, like powering everything in the house. Just that's why he's so thin and shit. He's just pedaling his ass off, trying to keep the house running.
Yeah, down in the basement.
Yeah. It used to be
bunch of extension cords.
Yeah, it used to be the cook's job, but he got too old for it, so now it's the younger man's game. It's the hitchhiker down there pedaling his ass off. That's why he runs so well.
I was gonna say that dude's got energy for days.
Oh yeah.
So basically, go ahead.
I was gonna say he looks like a grown adult that's had like 3 Monster energy drinks that you gave to a child. Like he is just just telling you a story and it's hardly going anywhere and giving you any information, but it takes him 3 minutes to tell you
It's a good knife.
This is good knife right here. That's no good. That gun is no good.
So basically with this movie, I know a lot of people say this, right? But you can't talk about this movie without saying it, is that...
Saying what?
Jerry! Sally, they took the keys! Just the fact that, like, all of this could have been avoided. Like, Leatherface is literally just reacting to people breaking into his house.
Get out
Absolutely,
my house.
100%. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the movie from that, like, when I was younger, I totally, like, viewed it differently. Now that I'm older, I'm like, why are you going into his fucking house?
Yeah, who does that? I mean, but I've watched a shit ton of Urbex YouTubers lately, and they do all kinds of shit like this. Like, hey, this place looks open. I'm gonna just walk on in. Hey, clearly it looks like somebody lives here. I'm gonna go in.
Yeah, no, you do not do that. Like, maybe that's where our, like, moral compass, our like, values come from, right? Is these movies that we watched when we were kids. Because I'm like, that's breaking and entering.
That's a
first
man's
and
home.
Foremost.
You don't come in unless you're invited in. Vampire rules, man.
And you're subject to whatever happens inside of those 4 walls.
It's on you now, bitch.
On the it's like, what's the saying? Like, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court. Well, if you walk into my house, I am oblige him to fucking bash your skull in
With a meat
and throw you in my
tenderizer.
deep freeze. Yeah.
Which is that a deep freeze? That is a weird looking deep freeze. It looks like styrofoam that she's in when she pops out of there.
Oh, it's 100% that spray foam that we use, that insulation, painted blue. That's 100% what that is, to look like ice.
I didn't know it was actually supposed to look like it's supposed to even be turned on. I figured it was just a box, and I just throw a bitch in there. Maybe she just doesn't like the darkness.
That's why she's so blue. She's cold, Blue equals cold and blue equals night.
Yeah, and this movie equals heat.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I'm tend to agree with you. Man, that's why we're not a breaking and entering type folks. It's because of movies like this.
I will tell you, which is a very weird thing to say, that, like,
Not really.
I got a lot of my morals from the movies I watched when I was a kid. It wasn't school. It wasn't like some adult figure. It was like Creepshow and Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, well, you stay away from pedos. Like, Like,
I didn't need a movie to tell me that.
Right. Well, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I learned everything I know
Yeah,
from these films.
look at how Leatherface acts when he finally, like, he takes out the second person. He's looking at his windows and shit. Like, it's a mentally challenged version of exactly what we'd be doing. Like, where the fuck do these people keep coming from? Why are they coming in my house?
Right, yeah. I live 9 miles outside of everything.
Yeah. Leave me the hell alone out here.
That's why I live out here, is so I am unbothered. And now I've been bothered twice in a matter of 20 minutes. Like, who the fuck is coming next?
Like, there's a goddamn parade coming through my living room. I would bash somebody in the head, too, just walking into my fucking house like, hello? Like, motherfucker, I did not say welcome on the mat out there. It's made of human hair. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you didn't even bring over any brownies.
Yeah, there go the goddamn brownies.
Yeah, you didn't come to meet the neighbors. Yeah, it's a weird movie of these 5 folks who just kind of, they're coming to visit an old family home, and as they're coming in,
to see if they've had some relatives that had some bodies that were what's the word I'm looking for? Not
exhumed.
Not exhumed, but like grave desecrated, grave robbed. Yeah, there's been some chicanery afoot at the cemeteries, and they're coming to see if their family is victims of such chicanery.
Ye old Circle K cemetery, but they just happen to be like coming to this house, their old house, when it's discovered that the Sawyer family is grave robbing, and then they just make bad decision after bad decision after bad decision, and they get smoked.
And the 2 biggest things that were about this movie initially is based off a true story or inspired by a true story, and that is
Ed Gein.
Yeah, Ed Gein, and by that you'll notice that it's when they say loosely based off a true story, it's more like inspired by a true story, and then like this is about 8% inspired by a true story, and that 8% is dude killed some folks and wore skin suits.
Right.
Who lived in a farmhouse.
That's that old Mitch Hedberg joke, right? Like, hey man, did you see that news story about that lady who killed her kids? Yes, I did. And it inspired me to write a movie about a puppy. Like, fucking ridiculous. So, yeah, we have our Loose Ties, which is the same thing, Psycho and Silence of the Lambs and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all based off of Ed Gein.
And in the 1970s, all right, probably until 2000, I would say, shit, probably even 2005. If something said based off a true story, we're like, this is entirely true. This is pretty much found.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, this is like a newsreel is what this is. We can't. There's no way to disprove it. Like this, it's on camera. This is what happens. This is real.
The internet got a little bit faster. Yeah. And then we were able to figure shit out.
And then we really went south into. I wish this was still the way things were. Like movies are like, this has to be true. There's no way to disprove it. And now we're just in a cesspool of disinformation everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But we just had to take it at face value. Like, this is what happened. This is real. And I don't remember really, except other people telling me that this is a family of cannibals. Like, it's alluded to, but never really said.
Yeah, it's just, I would say, yes. I would say subtext, right? And the other thing about this movie that is completely misremembered, and I know every horror movie documentary talks about it, you and I have talked about it a billion times, is if you meet someone who is not necessarily a horror fan, but they've seen this movie once in their youth or whatever, they're gonna say like, "Dude, it was super gory."
Shit, even people that
everybody.
Even if you just ask someone the title, like, "Do you know the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?" Like, could you describe what you think it's about?
Mm-hmm. And everybody has this memory or image of a ton of gore.
Saw.
And
they think Saw.
Yeah, and it's not that at all. It's so reserved with its gore.
It's reserved on everything so much that I think it got it like a G rating. Like technically, everything that it falls under is like, this is rated G. There's no nudity. There's no really language. The blood that you do see is like so hard to even see in the one scene it's there that you can't really even count it. Like it's got spooky imagery and a little bit of some violent actions, but everything here is, this has to be the easiest shit nowadays. Like, I don't even think you have to edit this fucking movie at all to put on TV now.
For TV? No. And that's
probably
what I'm saying,
in the 80s, yeah, you probably had to do shit because everyone had to stick up their ass about ratings and movies then, but I feel like if you got the task of edit for TV, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre original, go. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm going to throw some commercials in every 22 minutes. But, like, yeah, this is a movie that seems hyper-violent. It seems so visceral. And again, that's just with the way it was shot,
that's
right?
But like, that's that film grain and the heat that you're feeling, not the bloodiness and massacre of it.
But it's absolutely so wicked tame compared to even like what's on daytime TV now. And also, this will tell you how fucking crazy the world was at a certain point, where this was put on the Video Nasties list.
Yeah.
By title alone, put on the Video Nasties list. And I think, I mean, I don't know like the exact date, but I feel like it was within the past 10 years where it was finally able to be purchased.
In the UK?
Yeah, like legally purchased in the UK within the past decade.
Progress, folks. That's what we're talking here. Progress.
And it's such a, I mean, it's a staple. It's a tentpole film, right? Like it is responsible for the direction that the genre went.
Yeah, it's what we call required reading for that genre, for the subcategory of slasher films. This is it. This is where Ground Zero truly lies, down in Texas.
Yeah, and again, just like John Carpenter, they walk a very reserved line, but there's something in the film that evokes like absolute terror and suspense. I don't know, it's that Hitchcock.
It's a combination of everything we haven't seen before. That's, I think, what it is, and not really seen a great deal since. In one aspect, I think the soundtrack, or lack thereof, I guess, kind of fits that.
I mean, it's a soundtrack. It's definitely a soundtrack.
It's a soundtrack, but it's a bunch of just sounds recorded and done over. The Exorcist is the only other movie I can think of that kind of does that
metal
kind of
scraping.
Shit. Yeah, bees or something in a jar, kind of a thing. Just unique sound design that puts you on edge. That's different.
Yeah, because it really does like raise the hair on your arms, give you goosebumps.
It gives you almost a found footage style before that was even a thing. Like, because there's no soundtrack, there's no music that kind of brings you into the, oh yeah, this is a movie, this is
safe.
Yeah, this is safe. There's none of that. Like, it's just sound designs.
Yeah.
And a lot of real things like just banging pans and shit. Real basic do-it-yourself types, like screw like we got a bunch of lens flares and the film don't look that great. Screw it. Go with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just embrace it, because I think he was a first-time filmmaker, and just like when you don't know that there are rules, you're allowed to break the rules, and there's
our tie-in from our previous series. We talked Poltergeist, where Tobe Hooper is an established filmmaker. Now we're going to his grassroots.
And it's just, this is like, again, you said required reading, but like I know in film school or like in college, if you take film theory or study film, this is not required reading for that.
Because horror films are still looked down upon. Suspense films, they're like, no, that's art. Silence of the Lambs is a suspense film. That's art. This is garbage.
Yeah, no, this is one of the best movies ever made, and the reason behind that, and not like, I've loved this movie ever since I was a kid. I had that like Video Treasures VHS with that super cool blue cover art with the eyes, and I would just stare at that cover art for hours and try and draw it, but there's something about this movie that just fucking draws you in, and
it draws you in, but at the same time, there's a part of this movie that I never remember. Like, besides the opening scrawl, which I guess John Larroquette did for a joint That was his payment for everything. After that scroll, I remember pretty much nothing of this movie until they get to the van gets to picking up the hitchhiker.
Really?
Like,
you don't remember them showing up at the cemetery? And
all that stuff. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching it for the first time. Like, I remember it, but it never sticks with me. I'm like, to me, this movie just goes right to picking up the hitchhiker. But I never hardly, every time I watched it, last time I watched it on the last drive-in, I was like, I still don't remember. None of this sticks with me here. These opening bits. I don't know why it doesn't, but it just doesn't.
They say I'm an old man talking. You laugh at an old man talking.
That could be why I don't remember it.
Anthony and I, we used to quote that all the time. And then also that song that's on the radio. Do 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 do. Like, I don't know what it is, but those things really stick with me about this movie.
70s radio.
Yeah. Something about sidewalking, babe. I don't know what the words are, but whatever. Yeah, I love it.
I think it's another language. I think it's in Hick.
It could, yeah. Watching women drinking whiskey all the time. But yeah, that's just like that sound.
Chewing on a piece of straw. I'm just chewing on a piece of straw.
That big fella over there, he's the sheriff. Go on, talk to him. He'll sort you out. He'll let you know if your granddaddy, whatever the fucking line is. But, yep.
I'm going to use this tooth to open a beer can. Watch this.
That's why they call me Toothy. This movie definitely...
You're Toothy? What's your friend's name? Oh, we call him Two Shoes because he always wears two shoes.
Yeah, because he's got that money.
Yeah, I had to pay for electricity. I can't afford the fucking things. I had to sell my shoes to pay for the electricity in the house. You mean that shack over there? Yeah, that's it right there. I got a light going. I can see anything in the middle of the night. I can walk out, take a piss, not have to use no bucket. That keeps the rattlers away from snapping at my feet.
God damn it. Well, yeah, this whole movie feels like poverty-stricken Texas. Like, it feels like Pumpkinhead. You know how, like, in Pumpkinhead, everyone feels poor as fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like it's like, all right, here's the yuppies coming in town. And they're about to get a severe...
disco kids.
Yeah, they're going to get a severe dose of what calloused hand, hard-working, down-in-the-dirt folks are.
Mm-hmm. And, like, they kind of... Not necessarily, like, make fun of. This isn't like... in Cabin in the Woods where they make fun of the Harbinger or... No,
but you can feel that they feel the rift in the social structure of how they operate and how everyone else in this town operates.
Mm-hmm. Like they're better, but they don't say it.
Yeah. Just that whole vibe of it's kind of, I feel like it's like in Jaws when Quint is looking at Hooper's hands like, you got city hands, Mr. Hooper. You've been counting money all your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, subtle stuff like that.
Yeah. So do you remember your first time seeing any of this movie? Like the very first time? Because I remember seeing the sequence where the cook turns on Sally.
Mm-hmm. And there's like the food in the smoker or whatever right next to her.
Yeah. That looks like people. Kinda.
Yeah, and she looks at it and is like, oh, it's people or whatever.
Kinda. And that's when my dad walked in the room because my sister was showing it to me. He goes, I don't know if he needs to be watching this quite yet. And she's like, yeah. And my sister's like, well, I kind of agree too. Like, this is real life stuff. And she's the one that put it on. Don't remember anything, but just remember that particular sequence of like, that's as far as I was able to get. And I wasn't like freaked out or anything by it. I was just kind of puzzled, maybe more than anything, because I probably was too young to understand the construct of what was happening. Right. But visually, it wasn't like, oh shit, yet. Anyway.
You remember your age?
Not a clue. I know it was pre. I would say 1990. Maybe 1990, 91, so...
Damn, yeah, that's wicked early, dude.
6, 7-ish.
Woo! I'm going to say mine, based on the house that I lived in, it has to be either 94 or 95. because those 2 years we lived in this one specific house, and then we moved. I remember going to the grocery store and having like $10, riding my bike down there.
That's like $100 then.
Yeah.
$10, you're like, fuck, I'm set for the next month and a half.
Buying like a candy bar and a cream soda, and then they had like
$9 still left.
yeah, and you could rent movies there, but they also had like used movies for sale, and they had Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that Video Treasures or Media, whatever it was, that VHS with that fucking sweet cover, and it was like $2, and 94, 95, $2 VHS, and I'm like, I'm doing that.
Man,
and so
that's unheard. Like, you have a $10 bill, you bought a candy bar, a drink, and a movie, and you still got money left.
Mm-hmm. And I remember, like, riding home on my bike, with my grocery bag on the handlebars, and getting home and, like, just staring at that cover art, like eating that candy bar and sipping on that soda and just looking at that cover art, and then being like, when I watch this, I'm going to go grab a notebook and I'm going to try and draw this.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember, like, that first viewing, like, as a kid, like, I'm into it, but I'm also distracted by, like, ooh, I'm trying to draw this. And, like, the way that movie made me feel. And I think it had to be 95, because, like, my mom and dad got back together for, like, a real brief stint. And I remember my dad kind of having a similar to your father's reaction, kind of walking through and going, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, huh? Like, is this on TV? And I'm like, no, I bought it. And he's like, oh.
Like, you want a beer, son?
Yeah, you're a man now.
Let me light your cigarette for you here. I got a lighter. It's childproof,
yeah.
So I'll light it for you.
So yeah, like that was my first viewing back in 94, 95. So I'm either 10 or 11 at the time. But yeah, it just captivated me so, like, wicked hard, right? And then I didn't see the second one until way later, but after I had seen the third one even. So like I
don't know when I saw the second one. The third one I definitely heard of next. And I remember, again, my sister saying she went with a friend of hers who snuck out to see it. And, like, all I remember initially is, like, they went to go see that. Her friend snuck out, and her friend got her ass kicked when she got home because she snuck out to go see this movie. Which I don't know any kids that are getting in trouble for that nowadays. Like, that's a weird thing to be in trouble for now. I feel.
My kids wouldn't get in trouble if that's exactly what they were doing. But, kids aren't like that. Kids fucking suck. So...
I'm going to pay to go see a movie in a room with a bunch of other people? Ew.
That will ruin my alibi. Like, yeah, see, I live in a small town, so, like, if you were to sneak out and you...
Well, I'm going to call the guy that will take the ticket taker at the theater. They say you weren't there.
Yeah, my wife's best friend runs that theater. If she doesn't see you in there, she knows. Check the tape.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah.
And I don't remember when I got back to this movie. I have no idea when it came back around. I watched it full-fledged ever. But it's always felt like it's always been there, though. I can't pinpoint when I seen it, other than that initial memory of seeing part of it. But I feel like it's always been there. Like, I've known it without knowing it.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Because it just becomes a part of your life, right? It's just like Halloween or any of the Friday the 13th movies. Like, you might be able to pinpoint a certain time of watching it when you were young, but, like, yeah, it's just part of your life, man.
Yeah, it just comes in and sets up shop, and I'm like, all right, I live here now.
Yep.
So, brutality-wise in this movie, there are still some scenes that kind of make you go, even today. Two that come to mind. I'm going to see if they're... Do you have the two to come to mind for you immediately? Like, if you're like, name two things that make you kind of cringe in this movie in a good way. Do you have two?
Yeah, I got a couple.
First one, the knife on the hand of the hitchhiker.
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's really good. Will always be good. Not necessarily cutting Franklin. I'm kind of all right with that. But when he's cutting his own hand, I'm like, yeah. And of course,
hey, man.
And of course, in the scene, you don't see shit. You don't see shit. You don't see shit. But the hook.
Yeah.
That's
perfect.
That is genius fucking filmmaking. Because you don't see a goddamn thing. Everything is the implication.
But the noises she makes, just
she makes great noises. Like I hate a lot of how some people die in movies, particularly slashers. But she does great.
Yeah, like as she's sliding on the hook, like the like she's losing her breath.
Yeah, like it hurts to take a breath in. Like I don't know if that was directed by Toby or if that was any improvising on her, or maybe just how the harness she was in made her actually feel. I don't know which of those three it was, but that is the most sincere sounding pain of what that would in my mind feel like. And like I said, you don't see nothing. You see the hook, you see her, and you don't see him actually put her on it. You just see kind of from a front angle of like as if you were going to see that, but you don't actually see any of that. And you just see the hook behind her, and you don't see nothing probably below the waist. So you know she's actually suspended in the air. I think she's actually suspended because it's actually something that runs along like the crotch line in her short shorts. So you literally see no penetration. You see no piercing of the chest. You don't see a shot from the back where the hook is in her back.
You don't need to. It fucking works. Everything about it works.
Yeah.
So my two,
and while that's happening, there's a dude getting chainsawed right in front of the camera, and you could give a shit less. You don't see it. You don't see it, but you don't even care. You're looking at her the entire time. Like, fuck Jerry getting his arm sawed off on the table. What's up with her?
Yeah, like, and that's how brilliant that is, right? Is you've got a person getting chainsawed to pieces that you might miss,
and and you don't care. Nobody cares.
Yeah, like, and you might miss it the first time or second time because you're looking at her, and then even when you do notice it, it's a chainsaw dismemberment on camera that shows nothing. Like, it's just brilliant. It's the way that it's shot is fucking perfect.
It sounds like Seinfeld, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's about nothing. You see nothing. It shows nothing, and you love it.
My two, one is actual violence and one isn't. So
interesting.
Mine, the first one is the hammer hit to the head. Is so good, and the legs twitching. I'm such a big fan of like the sound that makes.
That leg twitching still bothers the wife. Like she still has a heart. Like I don't like that.
Yeah. Because, your nervous system is reacting to the trauma.
That's Toby Hooper on said, like, make him twitch your leg a little bit. Like someone's shocking you or something. That's what happens when you hit something in the head like that. It makes the legs twitch. Yeah. Trust me, I know. I grew up this way. Killing animals
I'm
on
from
the farm.
Texas,
yeah.
goddammit.
This is how we kill things around here. To make them twitch. Which totally, I feel like that's an echo of that in the movie The Rock. Where that shit's happening to a corpse in that movie. And Nicolas Cage like, you've been around a lot of these. Is that normal? And Sean Connery's like, oh, the leg? Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I think that scene...
That's good, yes.
It's, really early, obviously early in my life, early in your life, like, seeing something like that, where, again, you don't necessarily see anything, but it's the sound design, it's the aftermath, and then the fact that, like, once it's done, and then you just get that him shutting the door and the reverb. Like, I know they tried to do that in the remake, and it is what it is, but, like, it will never be better than it was in the original.
It's like there's some shit going on behind that steel door.
Mm-hmm. And then...
That is an ominous fucking door, too, man. Still, not showing me anything. That is an ominous goddamn door. The red door ain't got nothing on this shit.
No. Because we slam the door, we get the reverb, and then we cut to the exterior of the house.
But just looking down there at that door frame, like any door I've seen in Insidious has nothing on this fucking door frame here. Like it is the most imposing door I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like it seems like it should weigh 1,000 pounds.
It doesn't seem like I should walk in there and investigate further. That's for goddamn sure.
Right. And my number two, which still bothers me every time I watch the movie, is when Sally is at the dinner table and she's like screaming for her life, and the hitchhiker is mocking her.
Oh, that's I feel like her losing sanity. Like that's the mental breaking point right there.
There's something about you personally being as terrified as you could possibly be. You know what I mean? Like you're at your
peak.
You're
at a 10.
You need help. It's as scared and as damaged as you could possibly be, and everyone around you doesn't give a fuck. And the way that he is looking at her and like it fucking, I got goosebumps right now because I just feel like there's something so truthful, and obviously like I've never been fucking kidnapped, but you know what I'm saying? Like
helplessness.
The people who, the people
utter
who
helplessness, and like any help is a lot of help, and the only thing around you is mockery.
So like I feel like anyone who was ever kidnapped and murdered, like I feel like that's super real, and that is where like even though no violence is happening, it's emotional violence, and I'm like, God, that makes me, and it goes on like it's a long sequence, dude.
It takes
so
forever. To a point you're like, gosh, I wish Grandpa would have hit a death blow so it'd go quiet.
Right. So like
just to end the madness.
Background noise movie, this really doesn't work for me because of all the screaming. But when you're invested in this movie, man, that's tough. That is a tough sequence to watch. And I feel like you can probably judge a person if it's their first time watching that movie and that doesn't bother them. They might be a sociopath.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Something, though, that irritates me beyond end that I was like, kill me now also. Besides, being in the van in summer heat. is, oh my God.
If you have any more fun today, you just won't be able to take it?
It's trying to push a man in a wheelchair in Texas terrain.
On a dirt path?
Yeah, in the woods. Like, I'm just going to leave you fucking here, man. Like, that is, you're going about negative 10 miles an hour because everything is stopping them wheels. Everything.
And Sally is
110 pounds.
Maybe. I was going to say 90 pounds, like on a good day. She's fucking petite, dude. And Franklin's got to be every bit of 250, maybe 3.
And rubber wheels. Trying to push rubber wheels in dirt. If you've ever had to push anything through dirt, it will not fucking move. Wheelchair is not going to move on anything but smooth concrete and linoleum. So, like, picking a direction, pushing his heavy ass around.
Yeah, not easy.
In the dark. Like, Jesus, just kill him. Just kill him so she can give her arms a rest.
He doesn't make it much longer than that, but that sequence alone.
I like that shit. Okay. I'll go with you. But like, motherfucker, no, you're not, because you should have Popeye arms after trying to get around this fucking thing with them in that fucking wheelchair. Like, it's insane how far she pushes him. Insane. Right, that's an Olympic event right there.
She gives it a go. Yeah, she might.
Too much of a go.
Job.
I feel her when she's like, Sally, and it goes, what now?
Yeah. That whole sequence before she pushes him, after Jerry has left, and they're just waiting by the van, and the sun just sets and sets and sets, and then they're there in the dark,
waiting.
Like the realization of,
I don't think they're coming back.
Like it's probably not good news.
Yeah,
if they didn't just get lost, like it's not good news. Whatever is beyond this van out there where they went is probably bad news, and she is trying her best to like maintain her sanity. She's like, she knows something's wrong, you can feel it, and she's dealing with Franklin,
who doesn't do anything
at her.
He does nothing to improve the situation verbally.
No,
like as soon as your mind would start to wander a little bit, like in a better place, it'd be like, they didn't follow us. They probably didn't follow us. Do you think that guy could follow us? Man, you gotta be crazy to just cut yourself like that. That's just crazy, right? That's just crazy. You don't think he's out there, do you?
takes something to do that to yourself.
Yeah, you could stop reminding me that there's looks like a symbol on the door that he carved in with his blood from his hand. Like, you could stop reminding me about that shit. Yeah, he's got 2 knives. and telling me, oh yeah, there's, by the way, at this point when it's beyond dark, oh shit, they took the keys. We can't
we are
leave.
Stranded.
Because up to that point, we're like, we could just leave them. Just leave them. Shit, thanks, Franklin, for telling me they don't have the keys.
Do you know how to hotwire this? Well, I would be able to if he didn't take my fucking knife. Then we get, after Franklin passes away, of natural causes.
That's putting it gently. Yeah, stop, Sally, stop. As if she's on a runaway downhill in this wheelchair. Like, she's not moving that fast.
I hear something, Sally. Yeah, that sequence too is phenomenal.
Which she couldn't hear shit. All she's just trying to push this chair through fucking woods.
You're making so much noise that a 350-pound, 6'6" man with a chainsaw could sneak up on you.
He could be hopscotching up to her. She wouldn't have heard shit.
And that's when Franklin gets fucking chainsawed. Super good. And again, you don't see anything really. You get just a small amount of blood.
A smidgen.
When Sally makes the break for it and ends up at the gas station, this was like, of course, this is a trope now. This is a go-to standard thing that horror movies do. Like, oh, your character got to safety. Not psych, just kidding. But this is like the OG of that. And that heel turn, it'll get you. If you don't know this movie, it'll get you.
It'll get you, but man, I feel like she gets knocked out with a broom. I guess there's like 90 or something takes, it feels like. It took for him to be like, hit her harder. And he's just finally like, I'm just going to beat the shit out of you with this thing just so we can be done. Is that all right? But I feel like she could outpower her. I mean, shit, she track stars Leatherface. Like, I feel like he should be like, that's the fastest girl alive.
She's a freak. So here's the thing about that 90 takes with that broomstick, which still drives me nuts. I mean, I know.
I don't think it was actually 90, but they talk about it being take after take after take, and like they're just getting tired and more tired. And he's trying to be.
I'm not knocking Toby, but that was not safe, and there's no reason for her to be getting hit with that broomstick.
They can't afford no dummy broomstick, man.
Well, the camera can't see her. He could be hitting a pillow on the floorboard.
Or just,
the cameraman is
hire some dipshit that's like a fighter or something, like, can you just get hit with a broom several times and sell it for me? Hire a wrestler, man.
But there's no reason for anyone to take damage from that broomstick because the camera isn't on them. You don't need to do that because the camera can't see the impact. So who cares? Who cares what's under there?
Yeah, true.
So there's no reason. And that's, if there's no reason to hurt your actor, don't hurt your actor. So I'm always like, why was she getting beat with a broomstick?
Why could they also not afford any extra wardrobe? Because everyone's clothes, particularly Leatherface's clothes, were only one copy. So he had to wear shit day after day after day. And he couldn't wash it. Couldn't risk any color grading or anything.
Shit. We had 2 copies of Tapehead's wardrobe. And for the most part, he wore the one pair every single time. But after every day, I would wash it.
You had 2 copies of my wardrobe for the movie, and I definitely didn't need 2.
Yep, just in case. But Dylan, for the most part, wore one shirt, one pair of bibs. But after every day, I would throw them in the washer and be like, whatever. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match. I don't really give 2 fucks.
And that's why we're not Toby Hooper.
Yeah.
That's where it is right there. It's not anything else. It's just we give a shit less about wardrobe or buying 2 copies of it.
2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4.
Mm-hmm.
But, just because. But was there anything else you wanted to hit on in this movie before we move on to our next segments? Hit on, because,
Favorite lines? We have so many favorite lines from this movie that we used in the Friday the 13th, the game. Hit them with some of our favorite lines.
every time I say this line, my wife is like, she goes, you can't say that. I think that's racist. And I'm like, I don't think so.
Glowing raspberries.
When he goes, you coon shits. And I'm like, I don't think he means like a racist. I don't think it's a racist thing. I think he means
Literal
like
raccoon shits.
Yeah, literal raccoon. So I'm like, I can say that. I think I can say that. You coon shits. I'm sorry if
anyone in the
I
South
can't.
that can verify whether or not coon shits is racist or not, let us know, and then we'll just immediately just edit it out in the future version.
Because I'm not gonna Google it if it is racist. Like
that's
you know
end up
what
on
I'm
a
saying?
watch list, sir.
Yeah, and so look what your brother did to the door. That's another strong contender. If I have any more fun today, I don't think I'm gonna be able to take it. That's
Him
up
pissing
there.
in that coffee can is hilarious to me. That a truck knocks him down that hill is funny as shit. That is a fast-moving truck.
That's a Norinco truck. It's on its way to Smoke Gauge.
It pushes a man in a wheelchair down a hill.
Yes. Yeah. It's got some good kickback. Mm-hmm. Try to think of some other really, really good lines. It's a good knife.
You're just
What else you got?
You're just a cook.
That's right. You're just the cook. The keys, Sally. They took the keys. Did I say that already?
Yeah. Jerry.
Jerry.
I like just one is fine. Like one of you yell it, the other one push, or the other one wheel himself and you say it. Like you don't need to double up on that. If he can't hear one, he's not going to hear the other one of you.
Right. Oh fuck. So good. It's insanely quotable. It's just a fun movie, and it definitely changed the genre. Like, the more I watch it, the more fun I have with it. Like, it used to really, really, really grate on me. Now I'm like, this is just awesome.
This is goofy shit now, but in a good way, goofy shit. Filmmaker goofy shit. We understand it on another level now. Cause we've been in that heat.
Speaking of filmmaker stuff, we can't do this whole podcast without talking about when she jumps out the window and it's clearly a stunt double with a complete
jumping out a window. Like, man, that glass just breaks so conveniently, or doesn't cut her one bit.
Yeah, and I love the just ridiculous wig. You know, it's Tom Savini. Like, I know he didn't work on the movie, but it's like Tom Savini always doubles as a lady flying through a window.
Just I picture him just throwing a mannequin out the window. Shit, stiff arms and everything. Yeah,
totally works. Use Grandma's corpse.
Oh yeah, from the upstairs. That always was kind of freaky to me. Like when she got to the attic, that lighting in there, that was good shit. Good creepy shit.
Like a lamp without a shade, like just being real hot light.
Yes, I can feel heat there again.
Mm-hmm. Really good. Everything about this movie is really good.
True. Which is why they made 9 of them.
I still can't believe that. When we were like, we'll cover Texas Chainsaw. What is there, 4? Nope.
9 times. In Texas. 9 times. And because it's in the title, they can't take him out of it.
Right.
They can never take him out of there.
God damn it.
Unlike Jason, who can leave Crystal Lake. They're like, no, we can't leave Texas because it's in the title. Shit. Texarkana Chainsaw Massacre.
You're stuck there. Luckily for them, I stuttered on that. Texas is fucking massive, so
huge.
Stupid.
Just
stupidly large.
Just like Franklin. But that's positive things.
True.
We don't always do positive things around here. We gotta go negative. Not negative. Maybe one. Maybe just one.
Just one negative review?
1 star reviews.
Oh.
Hated it.
Man, I got some good barbecue here.
You don't want to be messing around on other folks' property.
Get yourself hurt.
Good old Jim Seedow. Rest in peace, homie.
Jeremy Rosada. November 6, 2016, 1 star. Dumb.
That's it?
That's it.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Ed on November 5th, 2016, 1 star. LOL.
Young kids, man. It's got to be the young kids.
I can't picture a young kid named Ed. Ed is like perpetually 42 to me.
Right.
Patrick DeRing, November 6, 2016. 1 star. Stupid.
Okay. He wrote that review during the movie.
Aurora, October 22nd, 2016. 1 star. Don't like horror movies.
Yeah, okay. Why? What are you doing?
Dave on November 8, 2016. 1 star. It sucked.
The Dave says Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucks.
It sucked. Chris Black, November 22nd, 2016. 1 star. Sucked.
Jesus.
Rondell Del Branch, October 20, 2018. 1 star. Was Showgirls this bad?
What?
I can't believe this crap reached an iconic status. Then again, some folks enjoy the Purge series. So I can see how this happened.
Oof.
That's weird. Purge and
compare
Showgirls.
Yeah, but comparing the Purge to Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't really... They don't walk that line. I mean, I suppose you're going to get your house invaded.
Showgirls doesn't have any home invasion in it.
Nope.
That I remember.
Just seizure pool sex.
John on May 19, 2022. 1 star. Bought my mistake. Regrets.
All regrets.
Mm-hmm. Tanya, December 22nd, 2021. 1 star. Demented.
True. It's not really a bad review. That's okay.
Really?
That'd make me watch it.
Demented? I mean, yeah. Okay.
It's like in Dolomite, or My Name Was Dolomite. You know? See that review? That review is going to make people want to see it. They're going to want to see how stupid and how whatever the fuck he says. I can't remember the lines, but yeah.
All right, we'll say Freddy, November 13, 2015, 1 star. This is the last one I could find, by the way. Thought I had 2, but I guess I just got this one. But this is the best one here. But 1 star. ASDFGIUQDHIQDGIQO. Worst movie. Ew. This is the worst movie I've ever seen. I tried hard to like it. I went into it so excited because I've heard so many good things. But honestly, I don't know how anyone could watch this movie and enjoy any second of it. Every character is portrayed poorly, and all the scary elements are things that are supposedly are there to supposed are all of the scary elements are just things that are supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. That's what's fucking me up. He past tensed something that should be present. Supposed. They stretch out every scare scene. All right. Last is all in caps, so bear with me.
Uh-oh.
Absolutely worst movie. I'm shaking while writing this review. I hate it so much. Poorly acted. Obnoxious. And gently kill everyone involved with its creation.
Wow. Okay.
Worst movie. Absolutely worst movie. I'm shaking while writing this review. I hate it so much. I want to very poorly act out a murder and obnoxiously and gently kill everyone involved with its. This is just. I sound like I've been hitting the head with a hammer trying to read this.
You might have been.
I might have been, or the
guy writing might have been.
Batman here might have been. He's an Amazon customer. We didn't get a name for him. Yeah, somebody actually found that helpful too.
Wow. Okay. Someone else special like him. Since we're done with the Amazon 1-star reviews, Evil, what does that mean?
Well, back to hopefully where I can perform better English for you. Reading it, maybe not necessarily, but at least speaking it. Time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. Time to play the game.
It's all about the game, and how you play it. You damn fool, you ruined that door.
Yeah, you ruined the door, you son of a bitch. But that's right. It's time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what is the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself where you gotta pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. So since we're covering the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I'm just gonna go ahead and say you can't have Leatherface's mask, you can't have Leatherface's apron, and you can't have Leatherface's chainsaw, because those are all low-hanging fruit. So pick something a little bit different, a little bit odd, and let us know in the comments on the podcast, let us know on Patreon, Discord, YouTube, wherever you find us. And
you bitch dog.
Yeah, let us know. So, I can't remember who went first 2 weeks ago, Evil. Would you like the honor of going first, or do you want me to go first this week?
I'll go for it. And
Okay.
I set the mode here. I'm gonna have me a bite of some human torso here. I'm gonna crack a bone. Tastes like human, sir.
Oh yeah, delicious.
I've been stuck in the thing we've been doing for the past few weeks of picking two items and not being able to decide between the two. So the first thing that came to mind is I wanted the keys.
Nice.
I want the keys to the van. But if that was not low-hanging enough fruit, I was going to take the bucket that they have over Sally's head.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Because sidebar, Grandpa is creepy as shit.
It's true.
Okay,
John
I remember that now.
Dugan?
I remember that now. All of a sudden, that we watched that twice. First time, because we're like, did he smile? My sister's like, rewind the tape, and rewinded like, I think he smiled. Like like when they first zoom in on his face, and he has like a mild smirk on the corner of it.
Mm-hmm. He like mooches.
Yeah, like, You're like, did he move? Did he move? Again,
Dead guy moved.
shit we're thinking is real, like, because I don't know if he's supposed to be dead or alive at all.
The blood gives him life. Those are really good props, though, man. I applaud those. The old blood bucket.
Yeah, that is not that I grew up on a farm, but I definitely grew up with some elements of this movie, like, around me, like some of that oppressive heat at times, some definite like old world furniture and implements of like an old hammer that he's got a beat up handle on it, splinters, old metal buckets,
A little rust.
fence posts with barbed wire, rusty barbed wire on it, high tall grass, some lamps without shades on them.
Also, I know we talked about it a couple weeks back, but if anybody listening to us isn't from like the Midwest or
Middle
ever
America.
necessarily like been around tools or whatever, like there's a very specific smell that like rusty or oily tools have. And I feel like
you
this
can
movie
smell
has that
it
smell.
if you go to any truck stop gas stations. They have like the home improvement section there where they're like taillights, covers, shit like that. Smells like that.
Yeah, it has kind of like the rust, the patina smell. Like it's a very specific smell. It smells a lot like my childhood. Like,
Yep, 100%. It smells like the garage. It smells like it smells like Dad's workspace.
like something just got fixed in here.
Or it's fixing to get fixed.
Yeah, that's right. Fixing to fix it. So as far as my props go, Evil, I've got a couple. Number one is going to be the horoscope book
Oh,
at the beginning.
that's close to home for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's a little, it's it's fun. I like that. And yeah, since my wife is big into that kind of stuff, it'd be kind of rad to have that.
We just don't have anybody in a wheelchair that we know of yet. We could totally recreate this entire movie. There's you and the missus with the horoscope stuff. Me and mine probably just complaining about the fucking heat. Now we just need some hefty bastard in a wheelchair to push around and be
shirt unbuttoned, chest all hairy. Sweaty, hairy chest. And so speaking of the wheelchair, not necessarily the wheelchair, because that to me is low-hanging fruit.
Really?
But I want, because it's, so my other prop would be Franklin's flashlight.
Oh.
I feel like that's good, especially after the blood is on it. So I would have like the dried blood on the flashlight. That old, like, shitty metal-looking, aluminum-looking flashlight.
Oh, yeah, I'm thinking of like the cheap plastic ones, but yeah, it's probably one of those ones that could double as a nightstick because it's just...
And it has those like ridges.
Yeah, it's ribbed. Ribbed wall flashlight.
Yeah, ribbed for whoever tries to rob me's pleasure, because I'm going to fucking crack them right upside their dome with it.
And then you get sodomized with said flashlight. Yes. Light in first.
Wow, yeah, it had the light coming out of your mouth. Oh, Lord. But yeah, those were the two that stuck out to me. There was another one, and then I'm blanking because I did not watch this movie to prepare for this because we've seen it so many times. I feel like when we see dead grandma in the attic, is there not like a rotten taxidermied like dog? I feel like there's a rotten taxidermied dog next to her, and like it's like nose and front of its face are exposed. I was gonna say maybe that, it's like Rowdy, but in like his.
I know every one of these bones is real from a veterinary clinic that was in the area that was like, hey, if you need any bones, here you go. And like the prop guy was like going just nuts collecting all these bones.
Yep, and they all smelled terrible. So
as they tend to do.
Yeah, because they have
he's
rotten...
making chairs and shit out of them, gluing them together and stuff. So that's actually, there's some more Ed Gein tie-in stuff there, just making shit out of bones.
Mm-hmm. So gnarly. Set design is so gnarly in this movie.
This kind of speaks for itself movie. And I couldn't believe it took a decade to get to round 2 of this. I think it was just from people just clamoring for more. But where do you go from here, really? And they go somewhere.
They fucking sure do.
This is where I think we're gonna get into some heat because we're getting into the next round of this. Is not that I'll say it used to be. It used to kind of be more in my wheelhouse because it was like real. Goofy, and like the maze like tunnel system was pretty cool, but good Lord, is that such a departure from where we are here? So much so that I think there's the debate if part 2 is a mockery film. Like right. Toby Hooper made a mockery film for people who were wanting a sequel to something that he couldn't do one to, like traditionally. But good Lord, is it a departure?
And in 2 weeks, we might get ourselves in some hot water because not only is it a departure, but it's also a fan favorite. So
I don't know why it's a fan favorite. I really don't.
And we'll delve into that in a couple weeks, and you guys can either be with us or against us.
And then 2 weeks after that, we're going to completely switch gears, and we're going to be the fans, and everyone else seems to be on the other end of the fence for some reason that I don't understand.
I also don't get it, but I suppose, Evil, we should probably get going, because after all, there's a lot of movies out there, and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us? Right?
If I don't have any more fun today, I don't think I'm going to be able to take it.